Everyone, I want to ask two questions about this week's Parshat Beshalach. I think I have one answer. I think it's gonna answer the two questions. First one, there is a pretty famous midrash about the angels that want to sing right after the Egyptian dying, after Bnei Israel moving the sea. And God tells them, it occurs twice in the Gemara, מעשה ידיי טובעים בים, ואתם רוצים לומר שירה. My creature, the thing that I create, drowning in the sea, and you want to sing. I mean, it's inappropriate. You can be happy or something, but don't start to sing. I mean, I'm still sad, even though I'm the one that killed the Egyptians. But then, in the end of our parsha, we have the war with Amalek, and we know what a great mitzvah is to not to kill all the Amalekans, right? Not remember them. Machot timche et zecher Amalek. You should kill them and not see them at all. So I want to ask, what's the difference? I mean, why about the Egyptians God says, don't be so happy, don't sing song, but about Amalek, by the way, you want to suggest an answer? Or is?
I do.
Oh, I'll be happy to hear that.
So, in the Egyptian case, even though it was sort of twisted, they initially offered us refuge, housing, whatever, a place to stay, food, etc. And even as slaves, our basic needs were still provided for, even though it was obviously to the Egyptians' benefit, but our basic needs were provided for. So there was some element of Hakar Tov, gratefulness, thankfulness, or whatever, even though later they turned on us, obviously. In the case of Amalek, there was nothing. There was no benevolence. There was no, it was just a complete denial, complete evil, a complete denial of any humanity or relationship or or acknowledgement even that there was a God.
Amazing. I mean, this is the most common answer that I saw. I'm just gonna say it quickly for those in Zoom, or for those just totally say I'm saying it right. The Egyptian eventually wanted something good for us. Maybe it's not so good, but some of it was good. I mean, we're still alive. We have the ability of being alive. Amalek only wanted to kill us with nothing good in it. So this is actually the most common answer that I saw, and this is a great answer. I want to connect that to another question that I have, and maybe I'm gladly happy to hear your answer for that too. Maybe it's covered for the both. My second question is, but thanks. My second question is, we spoke about in Sunday about all the times that Bnei Israel are consistently not believing Hashem, right? I think I counted not less than 7 times that Bnei Israel complaining or saying what he did to us during our Parsha. When they see the Egyptian running after them, they want water, they want food, they're afraid from Amalek so many times. But what is very interesting, even though we know it's going to happen a lot of times in the future, in the desert, it's look like in Parshat Beshalach, God have a lot of patience for that, right? I mean, Bnei Israel are complaining, and every time he just brings the solution. He brings them water, he brings them the man, he's opened the sea, he's helped them to fight against Amalek. So how come, and we know later they're not going to run away so easily from that, right? We have the punishment about the spies. Moshe is getting a punishment about beating the rock. By the way, he's beating the rock in our Parsha too. Nothing. Well, there's a lot of answer for that. I'm not going to touch on that, but it looks like God have a lot of patience for that. And I tried to connect those two questions and to come with one answer, even though our first answer was very good. I think one difference that we can suggest is the Tora for the Jews and the name of God for Amalek. And I'll explain. All the things that happens in our Parsha are before Parashat Tora, next week that we're going to get the 10 Commandments in Har Sinai. So one can say, okay, they didn't got the Torah, they didn't got all the rules of Hashem, they didn't yet quite belong, they didn't say yet, Na'aseh v'nishma, the famous saying of Bnei Israel, we are your people, Hashem. So he's still he's willing to forgive them because they still not exactly got on themselves all the laws of Hashem. And also in the case of the Egyptian, well, they tried to rule Bnei Israel and to have them their slaves really before the name of God was so big in the world, right? The big thing with Amalek, right after all these 10 plagues, Kiryat Yam Suf, and then you're fighting us? I mean, right after, that's a famous midrash. As a kids, we used to hear that. I wonder, do you ever heard about Baba? It's a character from Shai Charka. Okay, there's a book when we were kids in Israel, probably. This is an image. It's a like a caricatura. His name was Baba. He was explaining the weekly Parshiot with cartoons. It was very fun. But I remember the midrash because of that very good. The midrash says Amalek was like a hot tub. No one dared to get into that hot tub. But after the first one is getting in, it's no longer so hot, like Klishani, right? So what Amalek did, they already knew what the name of Hashem in the world. And Bnei Israel, after Parshat Tora, after the 10 Commandments, already know what Hashem expects them and what are the rules and the law. So I guess one thing we can learn from that is En onshin ela im ken mazirim. You can't give a punishment unless you give in a warning. And it's right to the Egyptian, it's right to Bnei Israel, and I think it's right to all, to each and every one of us. We need to always give the benefit of the doubt, to be sure when we are disappointed from someone or really want to be angry with someone. Let's make sure first of all that he knows what we want from him, that he knows the name of God. Yeah, we're not God, but our kids, are they really understand what we wanted for them? Our couples in life, are they really understand? I mean, it's kind of like teaching us about conversation. So this is one thing I took from the Parsha. Have a great evening. We're going to say Rabbi